Try and stay on like one continuous thought.
That's always good. Hey guys, this is Eric and Jimmy with Wargaming.
Hello.
Back for another podcast. I think the last one we did, or the only one we've done so far, was pretty long ago.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So the reason why it's been so long is we kind of didn't really know what to do with the podcast, to be honest with you. We had so many topics that we wanted to talk about, but could never really come up with a theme or an idea or a way to go about it where it makes sense. So now we've pretty much decided that the podcasts are better left kind of general and broad, I guess, instead of focusing on one topic, just kind of giving us an avenue to vent and to talk about crap. So a little disclaimer before we go any further. This is an adult podcast, or at least I should say it's a mature podcast. I wouldn't say it's an adult podcast, but we do cuss on here. There are topics on here that we're going to talk about that may not be appropriate for young children or people with sensitive dispositions. So we do talk about stuff, and you know what? We don't always talk about wargaming. So if you want a serious wargaming podcast, that's all they're going to talk about every second of the podcast, go listen or watch something else. We pretty much are going to talk about all kinds of shit and not just stick on wargaming. It's just kind of stream of consciousness a little bit. So if that bothers you, please watch something else. It's just that we can't always talk about this shit on the bat reps because it would make our bat reps 4 times as long. And we know that when people watch bat reps, they want to watch a bat rep, not listen to us bullshit. So that's pretty much what this is. And if you like that kind of a podcast, then continue. So with that, we'll get into it. Pretty much, yeah, man. We've been busy. We've been kind of busy getting some bat reps out, but we've definitely been busy. You're going to turn that off, right?
I'm muting it right now.
There we go. Speaking of which, I should probably mute mine too.
Yeah, lots of work, lots of other things that have come up. Mostly lots of work. Lots and lots of work, so we haven't really been putting out as many bat reps. And then also, we probably need a couple more armies, fully painted, fully assembled, and then some more terrain, and then we'll probably start doing some more. So we're just slowly collecting everything. And we'll probably be doing some more bat reps here this summer. I imagine you'll see more bat reps this summer.
So yeah, we're looking to add some more armies to our for the bat reps and stuff, trying to mix it up a little bit. Right now we have the elves, we have the ogres, we have the dwarves. Those are the primary 3, I think, that most people are used to seeing.
Well, we have the ratkin too. They come in every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen too much of the dark elves or Twilightkin.
Right.
Bad.
Twilight.
But yeah, we're looking to eventually probably get one of every army. Eric just bought the big mega box of orcs, and he's planning on buying another mega box of orcs. So I would say within a month or 2, you should probably be looking at seeing some orcs coming in.
It'd be nice, yeah.
That'll add some variety. Also, we've been playing a little bit of Dead Zone too, and that's kind of we tried it out for a couple weeks. It was pretty good, and once the whole thing comes out, and I don't remember what the heck it's called, the big mass battle one.
Warpath.
Once that kind of gets established and comes out, I think we'll probably do a little bit of Warpath too.
Yeah. The downside to war games in general, and this kind of fits into the theme of the podcast here, the ever-evolving war game. Part of it is that sometimes they can get stagnant a little bit, and sometimes you want something with a little bit of different flavor to it, and when we get burned out on fantasy type wargaming, we like to kind of focus on sci-fi and something a little different. So
yeah, and I definitely overplayed the ogres too. We didn't do too many bat reps, but I think I had probably close to 150 games with the ogres total, including the bat reps within about a year.
Yeah,
or something.
Probably a little burnout there. But we're definitely going to try and get some stuff going there. It'd be good. But yeah, with Warpath, it's I don't know. I'm still kind of torn because I used to play Warhammer 40K, so I have a lot of 40K models.
There's a lot of similarities.
There is, and that's what I like about Mantic is they're not shy about copying stuff to a certain extent. Obviously, they're going to make it better, I think, because I think Mantic's just a better company, or a better gaming company at least. And so I think their game's going to be better.
Yeah, I don't think they're just a model-making company and that's it. Right. I think they're an actual gaming company.
Right. Just like, unfortunately, like the Big Brother that we all know about. But unfortunately, I don't want to get the IP hammer, so we're not going to mention that too much. But, so I don't know if you heard or not, but they pretty much, Mantic, has pretty much said that coming this summer, they're going to do a series of campaigns, from what it sounds like, I guess it was pretty much a campaign is the best way to put it, that's going to shape the world of Mantica. And I think that's pretty interesting that they're going to be doing that. Like a bleeding
sword spreading across Mantica.
Right, something like abyss, yeah. And so what do you think about it? What do you think about that idea? I think it's pretty cool.
I don't know. I'd have to hear more about it, or they'd have to release some more information.
Yeah.
Depending on what they shape and how they change it. Based on what?
Yeah, unless they blow up the whole world.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna start like kicking factions out and stuff.
Right.
I mean, if people aren't using them, then that kind of sucks. Because I'm trying to get around to all the factions and get the armies and play them. So if they start kicking those out, then that'll kind of suck.
Yeah, definitely.
But it sounds like they might do something like that.
I don't know. I think Mantic, unlike the other gaming systems, I think Mantic's pretty good about. I mean, God, how many armies do we have now to choose from to play?
So many. I mean, it's going to take me years and years to go through them. And that's what I'm saying. If they're like finding out that nobody's playing this army, nobody's playing this army, nobody's playing this army, and then they start like kicking them out, then
I think that'd be a worst case scenario if they start like limiting armies or axing armies.
Because there's a lot of them I want to try, but they're like on a list, number 1, 2, 3, 4 priority list.
Right.
That I want to get to,
I guess I don't see them doing that just because they just can't. I mean, Uncharted Empires, that expansion book has only been out for a year, maybe year and a half at this point, and so I think it would be dumb for them to try and nix that. But you're right. I mean, they could do that. We don't know. I mean,
I'm saying if they do something like that, I would not be happy about it.
Yeah, nobody thought that the other game system was going to blow up the world and literally change everything. I mean. It came down to pretty much like a month or two before they were like, "Oh, sweeping changes." I'm reading on like Bell of Lost Souls and stuff, but I don't know. I don't feel like they're going to do that. But now, hopefully, it's a significant amount of change because before we had, in the other game system, they did this before. They did a thing where like the different campaigns and what shaped the world and all this kind of stuff, and then they end up not really doing anything with it because I think. If I remember right, the armies that won were actually evil. Evil actually won, and so it was supposed to change a whole bunch of stuff in that world, and that game company decided not to do it. They pretty much said, "Oh, forget about it." And I know that was a negative backlash for the company. So they have to balance it, I think, between like you have to make it significant, so the gamers feel like it fucking matters. They don't feel like, "Oh, I'm just playing this game for the hell of it." Because obviously they're trying to get people involved. In the story, yeah. So I think it's going to be something that's like
lore. It makes sense, yeah.
So I think it's actually going to be it's going to be significant, I think, but I don't know if it's going to be.
They're trying to make it more of like a role play type thing, where people can actually like play it, change it, get behind the story.
Because I mean, think about
almost like a D&D type thing, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, shapes the world and shapes the campaigns. Well, and if you think about it too, like that's. Probably one of the only complaints, other than cost, that I have with wargaming, with tabletop wargaming.
I don't know. The cost doesn't seem so bad anymore. It might just be by comparison.
Yeah, with Mantic, thank God. It used to be like, oh my God, I got to buy one unit. It's $100. What?
Yeah, $120 fucking. Remember that first time I came over and you were playing Warhammer?
Yep.
Oh, this is my fucking like dreadnought. It cost me $160. For that one model.
Yep.
One thing.
From
really?
Yeah, from Forge World. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been saving up to get it. Just got it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't touch it.
Other than the cost, the one thing that I have, I guess, against tabletop wargaming is sometimes it just feels stagnant. You play. I mean, we've played hundreds of games together, and every battle hasn't done anything. It's just cool to play. I mean, obviously, but sometimes you want a little bit more to the game. Sometimes you want a scenario or a storyline or something so that the game matters. You know what I mean? And I guess that's why we're doing the series, the campaign series that we're doing, just for ourselves, to make the game matter a little bit more, you know? Not that we're getting bored with it or tired of it, but every once in a while you want some, you know, it's kind of like sleeping with chicks, you know? Every once in a while you don't want a one-night stand, you want something that means something, you know? So it's kind of the same philosophy, I think, a little bit. But, you know, I guess it's just a different way of looking at wargaming. It's kind of almost like video games, you know, same thing. I mean, sometimes you want to play a video game like, you know, the grinding type like you like playing, where you play it for hours and hours and, you know, but it means something to the overall story. It means something to the game. It means something to your character. Your character levels up and stuff like that. Whereas sometimes it's nice just to fucking get on a game and play something. Just not really matter about it. Just
Halo versus, you know, or Gears of War or something versus.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, something to just fucking get on and kill shit.
Get on and kill shit, and then when you're done, cool. Don't matter. Doesn't matter if you die. Doesn't matter if you do whatever. Whereas the other one, you know, you want to take the time to build things up. And I think Mantic trying to incorporate that into the overall game, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I like it.
It depends on how they do it. They can definitely do it to where it'd be awesome, you know, and I hope they do.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but I think I'm going to definitely play the Ogres. Mercenaries win.
Mercenaries?
That's how this story gets changed.
Oh, man. Yeah, but then, like...
There's no good, there's no evil, there's just fucking...
Everybody's out for some
killing
coin.
for money. That's it. Killing for money.
So then, I know you've been talking about getting a new army, and armies for you seem to be a very... With me and Tom, armies are almost, you know, like cheap women. We just kind of pick them up, use them, and then just kind of go into another one. But for you, it seems like that there's actually some more meaning to them. Like, the Ogres, you've been playing that.
It's definitely because of the Ogres, more than likely.
Yeah.
I don't want to get fucking stuck with another army that takes me literally, 70 games to figure out.
So what army are you thinking about doing?
I don't know. All of them.
What army do you think about doing next?
I'd like to do Kingdoms of Men. But Mantic doesn't have any of the models, and I could just go out and piece them out, but I don't really want to do that. It seems like a lot of effort.
Yeah. Well, and that kind of...
So, I don't know.
It's a conundrum for sure.
I'm not sure. The Abyss look like they have a lot of options. A lot of really good options.
Yeah. Well, and then
like
actually...
There's so many units in there that just, like, fill different niches. It seems like it could be a really powerful army.
Yeah, the Abyss.
Yeah.
Forces of the Abyss. You know, it kind of brings up, interesting that you talked about it, but it kind of brings up another topic with wargaming, and that is, like, I feel like Mantic and Kings of War kind of expanded too fast. You know, they expanded really fast, and now they're playing catch-up with models.
They did, but they had a huge fucking role to fill.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Completely. And I think they were expecting a lot of people to be bringing their old models to the game. So they kind of felt like, okay, we can have a little bit of lag, because people are going to be bringing their armies from the other gaming system.
They do. And that would have actually worked out really well. I mean, so if you have an army, like if you have the Herd army, or if you have like an Abyss army, or if you have
comparable alternative
a Kingdoms of Men army or something, and you have it from other game systems,
it's
awesome. Yeah, you can bring it over. It's great. But at the same time, if you're trying to pick one up that's not offered by Mantic anymore, the price of that army has skyrocketed. Whereas
before Mantic, by the other,
before Mantic came into the scene, they were pretty cheap. You could pick them up pretty cheap. But I didn't know Mantic was going to fold the role so well, so I didn't buy any of them.
Right.
Because I saw a whole Beastman army and Lizardman armies and shit like that for like $200, like whole armies, like $1,500 armies. And now they're back up to like $1,500.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
it's just crazy. I mean,
it is what it is. I mean, but there's just all I'm saying is there's like some very you're gonna have to wait for some of that stuff unless you want to pay the money.
Yeah, but do you think
that's gonna dictate a little bit of what I get? So
do you think maybe they should have released the armies in progression, like have a certain amount of model count built up first?
Could they have?
I don't know. So I'm asking.
What do you think? Could they have? I mean, it would have cost them a shit ton of money to copy all those models, or make a model for every single thing in their book right off the bat. Well, they released it,
right? Well, I don't think they've never done full models or
could
full
they have
army
done
counts.
that?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. I mean,
I don't know if they could have.
It becomes one of those things where it's like, what's more important, I guess, to the gamers having the models or having the rules, having them being able to play in the game.
I like the rules. That's why I'm still playing the game.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wait on that army.
Which sucks then, because you can't really play the army.
Nah, I mean, I can do something else. I would like to do the Herd or Kingdoms of Men. Or the Orcs, but now you're doing the Orcs, so I don't need to do the Orcs. So, probably, I don't know, Nature? Maybe?
Forces of Nature?
Maybe? I don't know.
I think when you're doing a new army, you have to just...
Maybe I could just buy some sweet models from the local hobby store. They look like beastmen, like centaurs and shit.
I think that when it comes to a game and when it comes to a new army, like it's just gotta be one that pops out at you like, oh yeah, I want to play that, And I think the only one that does right now for you is the Herd. It just sucks because you do have to buy beastmen probably to fill it out. I mean, you can find some alternatives, but it's gonna take a little while.
The Herd is a gross army. It's so gross.
It seems like a pretty viable army. I know
a lot more than the Ogres.
Well, and
the way I look at it right now is like the Ogres are great. Like I found the niche for them. I found like a decent list, and I can win with that list sometimes now instead of just getting ass raped. But if you go to a tournament, people are running like janky shit, or like dragons or flyers. I'm probably not going to be able to beat them.
You almost need to have like 2 or 3 shooters.
Or boomers.
Units of shooter, yeah, or boomers.
It's probably going to be the boomers, yeah, because they're still piercing. But you can move, pivot, and shoot.
That's right, with the boomers. And then you can... Oh, no, you can't put the Jar of the 4 Winds. Or the, whatever it is, Jar of the 4 Winds.
I don't know. Somebody said you couldn't, but there's nothing specifically in the book that says you can't. Because it says your normal ranged attack. Yeah. Which, the shotgun is their normal ranged attack because it goes off of their normal ranged value. So, I mean, it's debatable. I don't like the guy who said, no, because it says their normal ranged attack. Because it is their normal ranged attack.
I like it because I hated it 24-inch boomers. I'm sorry. There's
honestly, there's nothing in there that says you can't do it. Because it is their normal ranged attack. Because it goes off their normal ranged value, which makes it their normal ranged attack.
Oh, man. This is one of the problems with Wargaming too, though. Unfortunately,
well, you always find those like little things, and the thing is,
and then it takes forever for the meta to get around, or for the game.
Right, but it's only one unit.
Gamers to get around.
It's only one boomer unit in the entire thing.
Yeah,
it is gross though. That game where I used that
pretty
in
bad.
Shooters.
Because they have piercing.
You were pissed off, yeah.
Don't they have piercing?
It's like piercing 1 or 2.
Still, I think piercing 1. Yeah. I mean, I think people undervalue, because a lot of the bat reps I've been watching, and even our own play. People undervalue crushing strength 1 and piercing 1.
Yeah, well, that's piercing 1, 24-inch range. You can move 6 inches, pivot, and shoot 24 inches.
And then in combat, I think they still get crushing 1, don't they?
Oh yeah. Well, all ogre units I think have crushing 1, pretty much.
Except for goblins.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, and I think that's one of those things that's undervalued throughout all of the Kings of War thing is crushing strength 1. It doesn't seem like a lot. It's actually pretty good. I know because Tom always talks about how the best army special rule is elite, and I'm not going to argue with him on that one. But I think, there are some other army special, and I'm not trying to compare that to crushing strength, but I think other good army special rules, you have Pathfinder. That's a good army special rule.
It might be one of the other best ones.
Probably. Sure. I think it'd be a runner-up for sure.
Yeah.
And then I think crushing strength, to be honest with you. It's so basic, but it's so, to have crushing strength army-wide, every unit at least has crushing strength 1. That's huge, because now nothing is defense 6.
The thing is it would be huge, but with like the other armies that have that crushing strength, they tried to build in basically like a check system for that crushing strength 1. The orcs have a built-in like check system like within their entire army list, and so do the ogres, which make them feel like super underpowered.
So do you think because of the special rule that Mantic was trying too hard, they felt
to compensate for
it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
With the ogres, anyway. And then the orcs, maybe, too.
Do you think that maybe they just kind of overlooked that with the elves?
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that fucking 3s to fucking hit with fucking elite and 25 shots is fucking absolute bullshit. That's what I know.
Wait, what'd you say? 3s to hit?
3s to hit. Because your archer, your kindred archers, right, hit on 4s normally, right? Have 25 shots. Right. So you give them Kenai, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
every
threes to hit.
Yeah.
So it's 3s to hit, elite, and 25 shots.
Okay.
Then you have a sorcerer throwing out Bane Chant. It's kind of, I mean, like, there's like random combos like that that are just shitty. But I don't know if they overlooked it. If you're not going to run flyers with the elves, if you didn't have elite, you'd basically get ass raped.
Oh yeah, easily.
That's how I look at it.
Easily, because of the point cost.
Right.
I think if the elves did not have elite, they would be way too frail.
Yeah.
Because as far as crushing strength goes, their basic troops don't have it. The only basic unit that has it, if I remember right, and I've been an elf player now for as long as we've been playing Kings of War, you have your Palace Guard. Palace Guard crushing strength 1. And then obviously you have your large infantry that are crushing strength 1. But as far as the basic elf, spearmen, archers, who I consider to be the backbone of the elf army.
They're not that cheap.
They're not cheap. And if you take away elite, they are going to die. I mean, they just are.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's figured into it, though.
Yeah, so when me and you first started playing, we used no terrain.
Right. Oh, well, that
we pretty much used no terrain.
Because we had no terrain to use, so.
Right. So we weren't using terrain, and the elves felt like the most overpowered, fucking absolute bullshit shooty army ever. But like you were 2-turning me and 3-turning me before I could even get to you.
Yeah.
Like I just stood no chance.
But once we started using a significant amount of terrain.
Once we started using terrain, I started like changing up my tactics. You started changing up your tactics, and once we started using the recommended amount of terrain, you started realizing like you can't run 7 or 8 or 9 shooty units.
No.
This is how it is.
No.
Which
makes sense because
we
all want to have a balanced army. Yeah, we all want to have somewhat a semblance of balance.
But the elite is bullshit. I mean, like, just every way you look at it, it is like the best army-wide special rule.
So I think what they should have done...
Shooting, melee, and magic.
Yeah, I think what they should have done is
elite
limited...
for everything?
Yeah, I think what they should have done is limited it. Just make elite to where it only works in shooting, or it only works in magic, or you know what I mean?
I mean, even go this far and say that elite, you can choose for it to work in shooting, for it to work in melee, or for it to work in magic. But you only get to choose one per game, and you have to designate it before the game starts. So if you want to run a melee unit, a melee army, but you want to have like a little bit of like support of magic, a little bit of support of shooting, you still have to designate it to melee.
So are you saying that you think that...
I think it just covering everything is absolute bullshit.
But do you think like you should be able to choose it for each unit? Or do you think you feel like army-wide? No,
army-wide.
Beginning of the game, you say, my elite's going to apply to this.
My elite is melee.
Okay. That's an interesting way to do it, and I don't think that would be too big of a deal, honestly.
I don't either, but I think it would definitely help. Because you running 3 mages in the back, 2 shooting units, and then most of it's melee, but they all get fucking elite, is fucking bullshit. It is. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's...
So fucking designate it for melee, designate it for range, designate it for, you know what I mean? Or magic or something like that. And then it kind of forces the elf players also to stack like what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a certain category. So it automatically builds in like a checking system, pretty much.
Well, and once again, like with other games, you can just have like a patch. Like if there was something that was overly OP in a computer game, it would just be a patch. They would just patch it.
Oh, yeah.
And
like
likewise,
Clash Royale or something.
Right, or like Clash,
Elite Barbarians.
Right, the Elite Barbarians.
I mean, they pretty much just like adjust the values.
Right, they can just change things like that. Unfortunately, with the tabletop wargame, it takes a little more time, and they have to kind of slowly tweak and move around things and stuff. And then they can always release that, the special rule. But I think when you change an army-wide special rule like that, I think it's probably a big deal. So it sucks because there is some lag with that. That's all I'm trying to say. It might have to wait until next edition.
I doubt they're going to fucking do what I suggest. but I mean, I think that's the best way to fix it.
But I mean, I just think that any parts of the game that you see that, you have some stuff that's covered in like rules updates and everything. And I know they have a rule update coming out for 2017. It's in the new book.
Hopefully, I mean, they fixed the flyers a little bit, which is really nice.
Yeah,
because the flyers were getting to be ridiculous.
Yeah, they were getting to be pretty bad.
I mean, it was kind of making the game not fun.
And I'll be the first one to tell you. I mean, I exploited the elves. Not because I meant to. I mean, they were just the army that I had a lot of models of. I wanted to do them. I mean, at the time we had just started playing Kings of War, so it's not like we knew what was going to be ultra powerful. And at the time, we also didn't knew that elite applied to everything. Remember?
No, that happened in stages for sure.
So I mean, I didn't do it with the
just
intent.
like, oh wait a minute, actually it applies to fucking melee too.
Right, I didn't do it with
the next week. You're like, oh, actually it applies
to everything,
to magic. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
And
you're like, find somewhere in here that it says it doesn't.
Yeah,
and it didn't.
That's definitely it's definitely fun. So, but yeah, so with that, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap this one up. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to try and figure out what is gonna be your next army. So. We'll have to look at the rules.
Give us some thought.
Yeah, maybe in the next podcast we'll talk about what army you're going to do.
Who knows, man? Maybe I'll be like perusing fucking eBay and I'll find like a huge herd army that somebody's trying to dump for relatively cheap.
Never know.
All I have to do is buy trays.
Never know. So hopefully you guys are watching our Bat Reps, our campaign series, The Darkening Tide. It's pretty cool. We're trying to weave kind of a storyline in between the games. Each game that we have, each Bat Rep that we have, pretty much changes how the story goes. So the story is definitely changed, and it evolves as the Bat Reps go along and as different armies win. We're going to try and incorporate more armies into the storyline and try and move that story along. It's not going to be over. I'll tell you right now. It's going to last a little while. The campaign series is going to last a little while. It's going to be complex. It's going to have a lot of different story arcs and stuff like that. So it's going to be more of a novel, not like a short story. So it's going to last several Bat Reps at least. So hopefully you guys are watching that, and we'll try and get another podcast out here soon. Hopefully it won't be like a year before we do another one. So with that being said, hopefully you guys have a good night.